Alright guys, welcome back to the Hello World guy, and in this video I actually wanted to start the new game, but we are not going to do that. Instead we are going to add a small feature to our game. We are basically going to just save the high score, and in that way we can display a high score so the player can try to beat his high score and can keep playing the game. So yeah, just a small high score, and it's actually simple to do in Unity, so this is going to be just a short video. Now the first thing you notice is that I have changed my shooting script to be called player, because that makes a lot more sense, to be honest. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. And in here you can see we have got a bunch of variables, and if I go down here, you can see we have got a two functions here, get high score and set high score. We will come to these later, but first if I go up here, you can see that I am using I have got a new text mesh flow called high score text, which we can use to display our high score. And in the on that function, what we do is we check if our kill count is greater than, we call this get high score function to get our current high score. So if our new score is greater than the previous score, then we set the high score to that, and we set the high score text to be this. The high score text will be a part of the death screen, so will be enabled automatically. Alright, so now let's get to the get high score and set high score functions. In here you can see that the set high score basically takes a variable called an argument called high score, which is by default 0, and we use the PlayerPrefs class, which is basically for storing small values like integers, floats and strings. It can store those three. It's really easy to do, and for our purpose it really is pretty nice. So we use the set it function to store high score, and this is a key, the key name in which we are storing the value, and this is the actual value. So we store our high score in a key called high score. And in the get high score function, we create a local variable called high score and set it to 0. And we then use the PlayerPrefs method called hash key to check if this key exists called high score. And if it does, then we set our high score to the get int of use get int to get that integer or in that key. And if that integer does not exist, for example it's a string, because it can't be possible that it doesn't exist at all, because we use hash key here. But we use get int here, and in case something goes wrong it will return 0 by default. So yeah, if this is not the key, this is not the case, which means that the player preferences high score key does not exist, then we just call set high score to set that key to be automatically 0, and then we return our high score. In here I am also going to do one thing. I'm going to say player prefs dot save, just to make sure that everything gets saved to the disk before we call it again. And alright, that should work. So in here we are setting everything, and yeah, that should pretty much function well. Oh, by the way guys, before we actually test this, I think you should remove that save line, because it automatically gets saved on exit. So you only should put that if you afraid that the game might crash or something like that, but that's really not needed. So that save is unnecessary, so I'm going to remove that. And now if I go inside my actual game and I hit play, then you should see, if I just wait for the first enemy to spawn, yeah, there he is. If I just kill him and then kill the second one as well, and then that's his score of 2. If I go here and I wait for the third enemy to spawn, and he's kind of yeah, alright, and as soon as he killed me, you can see that my enemy kill count was 2, and now my high score is 2 as well. If I restart the game and I die immediately without killing a single enemy, or let's just kill one enemy, so yeah, just kill that and wait for the other enemy to spawn. Yeah, as you can see, he's damaging me, and soon he should alright, you can see that high score is still 2, it does not change to 1. And now if I actually kill more than those two enemies, so like 3 enemies, then the high score should change to 3. So uh, if I go here and wait for the other enemy to come, yeah, and the third enemy, and maybe a fourth enemy. So if I just decide to die on the fifth one, then you should see that as soon as I alright, so the high score is now 4. and it should persist within game sessions. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I know a short video this time, but it was pretty interesting, and it's kind of a nice feature to have in the game. Oh, before I actually end the video, I forgot something. We are going to actually add the high score to our menu as well, I think. So in order to do that, just open up the menu scene. Now in here, what I'm going to do is go under the game view, and you can see that's pretty awesome. I'm going to select my canvas and right click, add in a new text here. If I can actually find it. Oh. And I'm going to call this high score text, and then I'm going to make it centered and stretched, and then aligned center as well. Then I'm going to I'm actually I think I where should we place it? Alright, I think I'm going to place it here at somewhere like 75, and this is going to be saying something like high score 50. And if I make it bold, that looks a lot better. Maybe a size of 38 should be better. And then I'm going to maybe select my title and move it to something like 200 maybe. Then take this high score text, make it 64, then move it up with 200. Alright, that looks pretty awesome, and all we need to do now is go under our UI events function, I guess. That's where we are handling this. Now, alright, we are not actually handling this inside of our UI function. Sorry, that's the Unity hub. Alright, we are actually doing this inside of something different. We are not setting this in any script at all, so our main menu doesn't have any script, but I'm going to actually use this UI event script for this. This will be called UI, I think, just as the start function in here. And all we need to do in here is first of all find a reference to serialize field, private is going to be of type of course tmpro.textmeshpro. Remember UGY, not this, and this is going to be called some high score text. And if you remember, that function that gets the high score text is static, so we can in here what I can say is high score text dot set text to be high score plus we can say just player, that class, custom class we have got, dot get high score. Now this should essentially work. So if I come on, let it compile. Alright, now if I hit play, then our high score should be displayed correctly as 5, I think. Nope, it is not, because we have not assigned our variable yet. Actually, we shouldn't do this if it's null. So if high score, because we are also using this class in our main scene, so we shouldn't do it if it's null. So now it will only run if it's not null, and you can set it in the whenever you want to. So what I'm going to do here is just drag my high score text here, and hopefully this should turn 5 as soon as the game starts, I think. Oh, it's 4. Really? Alright, I guess it is. So anyway, this as you can see is working, and you can play around with the placement a little bit. Maybe make this negative 150 or 180. Make this negative 100. Not really. Negative 60, something like. And then you can drag the title down a bit to something like 150, and then drag the high score to something like 80 or maybe 60. So yeah, this is pretty good, and you can see we have got a working menu which shows our high score and you play all games. So yeah, this is actually the end of our FPS series, and I will see you in the next video, in which we will get started creating the 2D platformer in Unity. So yeah, I will see you in the next video, and bye. Also make sure to like and subscribe.